Good evening. I just want to talk about gratitude. We need to teach ourselves to be thankful in all seasons, good, bad, or ugly. We need to teach ourselves to be content in all seasons, good, bad, or ugly. Why am I saying this? So, today, my son and I, we had some errands to run, and all the malls, all the shops, they've got Christmas decorations, and we saw and bumped into some of my late daughter's friends and their moms, and they hugged me. We hugged them. It was very beautiful. But as I walked away, I started crying, and my son, in the middle of the mall, he just hugged me, and I was crying, and he's like, "Mommy, TK is with us." I'm like, "Huh?" He's like, "TK is with us." And I looked at him and I'm like, "What do you mean?" He says, "Mommy, the fact that we are in the mall, we've bumped into her friends, and we're seeing things that remind us of her, that means she's aware of us, and she's aware of our hurt, and she's aware of our grief." And I looked at my son and he said, "Ma, TK is golden." I said, "What do you mean?" He says, "Mommy, TK is golden. I'm telling you, I always tell you this." And it's so true. He always says to me, "Ma, TK is golden." So I'm like, "What do you mean?" He says, "Mom, TK died at her purest form." I looked at him. He says, "TK was pure when she died, Mommy. She loved God. She loved people. She was kind. She was kind. And she was a giver. She was a lover." And I hugged my son and I said, "Okay." So we continued with our errands, and as we're driving back home, my son says to me, "Mom, you know that people out there in the mall, they're happy, they're jubilating because it's Christmas." And I said, "Yes." And he says, "But right now, we're sad because during this time of the year, his sister, my daughter, she's turning 12 on Christmas Day." And I'm like, "Wow, you actually noticed that." He says, "Mommy, do you know life teaches us that the wheel always turns?" I said, "What do you mean?" He says, "Today we are crying. Today we are hurt. Tomorrow somebody else will be crying. Tomorrow somebody else will be hurt." And then he says to me, "Mommy, like you always say when you talk to people, you can't give what you don't have." I literally looked at my son. He says, "Mommy, you can't give what you don't have. Right now, you are hurting. Right now, you are missing my sister." And he said to me, "It's okay, Mommy, to not be available for every invitation. It's okay for you to just take time out." And as I was driving, he was busy patting me, and I said, "Thank you, son. Thank you." So as soon as we get home, he says to me, "Mom, I'm going." I said, "Where are you going?" He says, "No, I'm going to my grandparents' place." I said, "Do they know you're coming?" He says, "Yeah, I I called them and I told them that I'm coming." "When did you call them?" He says, "Remember, I left you in the car and I went in the house. I called them and I said, I'm coming over. I want to be around with them." Because more than anything, he says, he always used to go to his grandparents' place with his sister. He says, "I just want to be in her space." And I said, "Are you sure?" He said, "Yes." And I'm like, "Okay." And he said to me, "Mommy, whether you like it or not, there will come a time where I will be leaving you at home because I might be studying abroad, or maybe I might be getting married, or I might be old enough to find my own place to stay, and you will need to accept and let go." So I looked at him and I helped him pack, and I hugged him and I said, son, I love you. And he says, mommy, I know. And I had to remind him that I'm the mom. You don't protect me, I protect you. And so, yeah, he just called. He says he's safe with the grandparents, and you can hear his voice, he's jubilating. He's happy with his grandparents. And this is when I say thank you to family that always avails themselves. Thank you to family that always avails themselves for my son. Thank you to family that's always available for me. Ngiyabonga. It's 1 year, 11 months since my daughter passed on. On the 25th, next week, Wednesday, she would be turning 12. So right now, I'm in a season of I'm alive. I'm thankful for being alive. I thank God for my son. I live and I love my son deeply, but I am not okay right now. I am not okay. I am not okay. So yeah, I just wanted to say to you, be content. Seasons are not the same. I personally just don't. I've got anxiety counting down to Christmas. I've got anxiety of being around crowds. I don't know how I do it when I'm needed and I show up and I get the job done. It's only God. So be kind. This festive season, be kind. Be kind, because people are fighting battles you know nothing about. Be kind. Just picking up the phone and checking up on someone. Just sending them a message saying, hi, you're in my thoughts. Just be kind. Be kind, because somebody out there is going through something you know nothing about. And to all the angel moms and dads who've lost children, may God heal everything concerning you. To all spouses, siblings who've lost spouses and siblings, may God heal everything concerning you. And Merry Christmas. Happy holidays to all of you. And God bless you.